Hi everyone. Yes, the countdown has occurred and I've hit the start broadcast. Not sure what I'm going to be doing today, purely because I've just noticed I've had some technical issues. That's what started it off, basically. I went to do something. Part of the process when you're doing a BeLive is making sure it's a Chrome browser that you're using, because that's what BeLive uses. Connects directly into Facebook. That's fine because you should be watching directly from Facebook, even with the replay at the moment. And then clearing the cache. So I did that. And in that process, somewhere along the line, I'm good at mucking things up. Or there was an update or something happening with Google. I went to get back in and there was a nothing, and I hit something else. Hi, Shirley, how are you? And it just seemed to cascade from there, where I was only the 15 minutes away and thought, oh, I'm hoping I've still got my scheduled live in BeLive, which I'm assuming I have because Shirley, you're here. So I've got at least one live viewer. Well, I've got two going from the look of what's on the dial in the back end of it. So I don't panic, but I certainly start to feel very frustrated when technology isn't doing the right thing. And it wasn't this morning, it was just being idiotic. I suppose that's a bit of a follow-on from yesterday. Unfortunately, today, I know that usually the show's called Tuesday Intuitive Chat with Leanne and Roz, but Leanne is away up in Queensland. Doing some other work there at the moment, and I got notice last night that she wasn't going to be able to be online today. And that's fine. I'm quite happy to do solo, but I have actually put the guest link in, and I'm not sure where I put that. I think I put that in at my Hypnosis Plus with Roz page on Facebook. I don't think I did it on the mylive.tv. So in all that confusion and the technology stuff, I did do manual because it was just too much like the hair pulling to try and work out the automatic and all that sort of stuff, because I still haven't been super organised and written myself a checklist of all that stuff. I was going to try and get my phone as a second guest to actually see cards that are static against a not black background, the clear white or cream or whatever, a basic straight background. That didn't work either. There was all sorts of noisy stuff happening. I turned the volume down, still didn't work. And then it was getting closer to the start time. I thought, nah, won't do that either. So being overlooked, overseen by my little owl in the, wrong side, background. I'm thinking, no, take the deep breaths. Wisdom says, don't panic. And I've told a lot of other people too, don't panic. So I'm here and I'm taking some breaths. And I'm hopefully taking some breaths with you. And in wherever I've put that link, it is actually somewhere. If you're ready with a webcam and a microphone, these type of things, and your Chrome web browser that is actually working and BeLive. No, you don't have to have BeLive. The link actually gives it to you. It will actually be a connection that you can click into and just join in, and we can have a chat as a one-to-one. That'd be fun if I knew where I put it. It is, I think, on I'm just looking at it now, in Hypnosis Plus with Roz. And I've put it as a comment on the live. So you actually go to the Hypnosis Plus with Roz and you'd see the videos. I'm just trying to follow it here. Actually, I wonder if I can share a screen, share my desktop screen. I might try that. See if that works today. Hi, Jenny. I can show those little comments there. Do they show? I'm in the middle of something else. Hang on, I'll just do that there. Does that show? Yeah. Gosh, it just seems that some things aren't really working for me this morning, like they weren't yesterday. There. And part of doing a 30-day challenge, video challenge, it's called Wave Video a Day. 30-day challenge. It's one that I'm doing through a course that I've signed in for, and it's proving very interesting to actually have that persistence, would it be, I suppose. I'm actually going to try doing this sharing now, because this is where the link is to come in. Without getting too sidetracked, the sharing a video a day is actually quite a good thing for the stopping procrastination. So one of the things that I have found over time, I always wanted to do daily meditations. I wanted to do them first thing in the morning. Get there and, do the hums. I could do it better than that, but I'm not now. Or whatever. Something that is meditation and actually connecting directly to my the spiritual side of life and into that inner being. Over the years, there's been so much that I've done in the personal growth. It really does change you, and there's so many little times in that growth journey that you'd say, oh, that's life-changing, oh, that's life-changing. And yet there's still that part of me that with doing something daily just hasn't happened. Even though I've wanted to, the desire is there, the intention's there, it still isn't something that has occurred. Even with the self-hypnosis, it hasn't happened. It's something that I'm finding now, well, I'm not meant to be. I'm meant to, the thing is, with your walk in spirit, with your inner journey, it is all connected and one, and we're walking it every single breath we take. So I've taken off that expectation of myself to actually have to keep up to something that is, almost a pushed idea, pushing it on myself. So it's just one of those things. So I haven't done the daily meditation, but this 30-day challenge is just a 30 days. So I have been doing that, and it really is for even just this weekly event, having a set time to do something regularly is really good. The only thing with the daily videos, I haven't been doing them at a set time, but I have managed to do a video a day, whether it's a live, it's not always live, or going in and editing something else that I've done before. It's actually a really fun exercise to feel that success at the challenge, that I'm making those timelines of each day. How long that will go, who knows? Who knows? Now, I'm going to put that there to the screen. Now, one of the things that I can't quite see this way is how it looks to you, but I am assuming that it is going to be sharing this screen. I haven't got anything to compare it to. I haven't got a Facebook open to see what my live's looking like. Anyway, this is, I have, here it is. Tell a lie. Look. There it is, right in front of me. But going to the videos, as you can see, I'm actually on there. You've got a video tab on the left menu, and you just scroll down. There's some of those daily videos that I've been doing because I want them to be on this, on the Hypnosis Plus with Roz. And I thought it was supposed to come up. Well, it's not. Well, that did that one. I'll go to the posts. Yeah, we're learning as I go. It's not that often that I've actually done a screen share. We'll play along together and we'll learn together. And it's taking some time to actually put that together. I love that couch. If you can see that, that's wonderfully comfortable. and I use that for the hypnosis. So that's why that's there. And as you can see, I've got the live there, so something like what I've got in front of you must be working. So this is where under here in the comments, that's what shows up. Oh, it comes up with the actual BeLive.tv icon there. So if you've actually got a webcam, you've got the buds and Chrome browser online, that's all you need to be doing actually is joining in with that. And I can stop sharing now. And you can actually come in. Yeah, you do come into the lobby first. We did, I think, a little bit of an explanation of that. Leanne and I did that last week when Flip came in and Annette. It was lovely seeing you both. And then you get to go into the screen with me as you would have seen with the screen share. It actually splits the screen so that you can see. You can't, as a guest, see the others on screen unless you're monitoring, sort of like having the Facebook in behind as a live sound down, whatever other reasons there are for it. But anyway, so it'd be great for doing the share button too, which I'm just trying to think which way that is, whether it's that way on your screen. There is a share option if you want to, rather than just seeing me raving on by myself as a solo person here. It would be lovely to have somebody pop in as a guest. If that's not happening, it doesn't happen. Doesn't really matter. What I was going to do, as I'm looking there, I don't know whether that changes when I haven't got a guest with. No, it doesn't. And can you see that? It's got Rosbandy too. And I know what that's from, because I had my mobile phone actually connected, trying that out, and haven't reset it. Too bad. Doesn't matter. Still learning as I go. There's a lot of things to learn. So what I'm going to do this morning, though, because it is a live, and I do want to continue at least for a half hour just to have a bit of input. I really do like doing the cards. It's not, let's go back a step. As far as the type of work that I do, part of what that is, and growing for me, because in anything I still feel like I'm a learner in anything. It's the psychic mediumship. I do like to play with the cards. And I've got them all here now. There's a thing, hi Roz, we've got a new feature that will boost your show's engagement. I'll do that later. So the tarot cards, whether it's the oracle cards, tarot, there are other angel cards and those types of, the cards that assist. At the moment here, and even these ones here are the Lenormand, and I'm still going to have trouble with the flaring. My goal before next week is to actually get set up so that I can have my mobile phone or another webcam set up specifically to just have the cards in front to stop the flaring. So whether I do that via a mobile phone or whether I get that together with my PC, because I do have a little laptop that's a Windows one. What I'm recording and doing this through now is actually an older MacBook Pro. And I do have a C920 Logitech webcam on that and a producer USB. So this deck here, as I have just said, is that, whoops, and that one's upside down. I'm just showing you various ones out of the Lenormand, and these are the Gilded Reverie. Lenormand is a different type. It's not a tarot deck. It's Lenormand, or it's called Lenormand, or I don't know how to pronounce it properly. I haven't actually looked that up. But it's this deck. That's the cover of the box that I've got. Okay, so that's that deck. This is the other deck that I like to use. That's the back of it. Is the Psychic Tarot. So that's the guidebook, that one. Oh, gee. You can tell I'm really organised. I think just that, the technology stuff, it does throw me a little bit. Yeah, don't panic, but I'm not super organised. And the Gilded Tarot deck. Now, this one is a tarot deck. Beautiful, beautiful. It is my favourite. It's one of those that I've used for a long time. And some of the gilding's coming off, and that's the type of, if I put it up the right way, and that's the type of imagery that you get with this one as far as the gilded. So, yeah, I can certainly do a card for you, Shirley. It's why I've kept it up there. Can you just put in which deck you would actually like to have the card drawn from? And we can actually do that for you. Now, I have explained it before to an audience on one of my shows before. The way that I actually like to do the readings, it's not referring to any of the guidebooks. I just go from what the intuition's bringing me or the guides are bringing me around that. So, excuse me for that. I really need that. So, it's pretty much a go with the flow, as a lot of what I do is go with the flow. So, yeah, it's one of those worrying things sometimes, just having the concern around housing. You can pick. That's what I picked up just as I was closing that comment. So for you, Shirley, and I'll just pop that up there and just going to pick the card and we'll just go through that. And in general, I tend to shuffle 3 times, and it's the top card when I'm doing a reading like that. So, oops, what has been drawn from the cards, and I'll drop the comment because it takes so much of the screen, really. And do I hide my face? Do I not? This is why I really want to have that goal of getting a separate video feed in to show the cards. I know it can be done, but I'm just not sure how. So I'll be playing around with that. You might get quite a few test runs over the next week. So that's the 4 of Wands. And as you're actually looking at that, Shirley, go within to get that feeling of what it's actually saying to you. My sense with this is a family. It's a situation of abundance with all the fruits and the 4 pillars being in place and stable, and the abundance of, as you can see, I think it's rabbits that are at the bottom. I'll just try and zoom that one in. And the growth there, the pairing, the fact that it's actually a pair, whether it's a couple or not, that's neither here nor there. That's something that you will know on your inner sense. To me, it does feel like relationships developing, and housing being somewhere that you're asking the question around housing. I'd say for myself that is suggesting that there is going to be something come up for you before your timeline. It'll be very settled feeling for you once that happens. I'm just trying to go into go that way. There is a beautiful dragonfly there. I can't remember what the symbolism is of dragonflies. I'd need to look that up. And just all of that beauty in the flowers, even my eyes going to those. it almost looks like a hand from how I'm looking at it, because I was looking at it in reverse on my, there's a little screen that's there in the back end of it that I can see me and the card. It almost looked like a hand, but this deck has a beautiful crescent shape that is the tip of the wand. I'll just try to get that a little closer. In the blurriness that I was looking at, it actually looked like a hand. So I'm feeling that is that the whole of what is that beauty and everything is being held up by those pillars. So it is being, in a way, honoured, and that there is that security, and especially as the fact that it's being held by what is those, the points that are up there on the top of the wand. It's secure. It is something that will last. So I'm feeling and getting that message for you that your next home is around the corner. It is going to be before the first. Trust in what you're getting as links, connections with people like the rabbits and the rest that are down the bottom. I mean, it is only 2, but you only need 2 to be that relationship of connecting you with your next house, with your next home, because it's not just a house. I'm feeling that it will be before the first. You'll have that news. You'll be able to move in quickly. So top red is hang on, I should show that. The top red, that's the colour of what the wands are, I think, in this deck. I try not to interpret too much into some of those. I used to have in my mind, in my head, some of the memorised bits, but they've gone over time, of what the cards were, because cuts is a more orange colour. I think that's what there is. So it's symbolic of which suit it is. And the wands being a growth creativity one. Yeah, and the cups are an orange. I'll just throw a couple there. There's a cup. So there's the orange colour. Goodness, there's a whole heap of cups in a row there. The pentacles are green because that's to do with fruition and the more physical things in life, our material things and that sort of stuff. So I'm trying to find, what's the other one? Well, the major arcana, of course, is only that. So the wands, I'm trying to find a sword. Of course, when you're wanting to find one, you don't actually get them, do you? So, oh, there it is. So we've actually got the blue for the swords, which is air and intellectual. So that's pretty much what that one is. So I'm hoping that you got something out of that for yourself. I'll just put that card up there again for you, Shirley. And hopefully it's not flared. Oh, gee, is that moving which direction? Me that way and that way. Yeah, something like that. And it still is flaring a bit, but that's a little bit better. So as you can see, that one is the 4 of Wands. 4 is coming up like, moving past in the sequence of your numbers, 1 being the start of the journey. And you're basically following a journey through life with the cards, and each one has its own area sort of specifically. But it's another one of those things, I don't memorize that stuff. So, thanks, Shirley, for that comment. That's great. Thank you. Guidance is something that we can all be helped by, but keeping in mind too that ultimately it comes down to what you actually feel for you in that inner self and at your gut level, like your gut intuition. That's really the end crunch of it. What do you feel intuitively? Seeing that card, yeah, positive for me. As what there is for you. So ahead, you find that. So just breathe it in, and realign to what you feel yourself in that inner feeling. After seeing that as your guidance and listening to what you're actually getting yourself there or visually, we've all got skills. We've all got ways which we actually receive the information we need for our daily life. So, yeah, good luck with that. And I've also got another, hi Jenny, another move. So if you were here before, I've just got to, you'll have heard my explanation. Which deck would you like to actually have a card from? Remember, it's the Lenormand, and that all I do is read from the card itself, not what a book does. Whoops. Cover it. That's a good move. Go that way. So that's the Psychic deck. Here's the Lenormand deck. And here's the Gilded Tarot. So I can do a pick for you. And which one would I go for? I think I might go for the Psychic deck for you. So here's yours, Jenny. Yeah, good move. I must have known that. So you're wanting to see if there's a move for you this year. Whoops. And, of course, if there's any cards that, if you have your own decks, if there's any card that actually flies out for you. Now, I need another one with this one. Even though I did the 3, I feel this is the one rather than the 3rd shuffle. I don't use any rules. Aha, throat chakra. Now, when I get the chakras, I do pull out the other one that supports it, the next one. So what we've got here is harmony. It's one of the major arcana. So it's almost, if you know tarot, it is more to do with relationships. The love card, I think that's what it is. The lovers in tarot. Oh, that one's flaring. That's quite a nice, these are nice shiny cards, aren't they? Now, with the throat chakra, that is to do with your communication and putting out there your message, your words, your communication, your connections. So that's what the throat chakra is. I'll just sit that down there. Does it? Oh, it sort of does. Sort of does. Yeah, if I hold it there, it doesn't. Oh, you wouldn't want to be epileptic watching that. Wobble it. Have a look at how that rim's moving. So that's interesting. I'm getting, you really need to get some of what you're needing to say out there. Move it out, breathe it out. So that's with this one. So, and creating your harmony with the move. Look, I'm not actually feeling it for. Just trying to tune in on that one. What do you feel? Do you really want to move this year? Is it something that you are really wanting to do? I'm feeling this is where express that. Have you been expressing that, your desire to actually move soon or more urgently if you're wanting to do that this year? Maybe it's something that you need to be communicating with a more defined end goal for it and say, yes, it needs to be this year. I think it's a bit more to do with the communication. So you're saying yes, yeah. Because I'm holding these two, I can't sort of bring up your comments. I'm just reading them as they're floating through. So thanks for that feedback, Jenny. It is feeling more around the communication and getting your voice out there as specifically to who it needs to be, why it's, and I think that's why creating the harmony and putting it in an assertive way, not something that there's any demand around it. I'm feeling there probably has been, but has there been some arguments about it? I think it feels to me like there's needing to have that breath, that pause. And although there might be that feeling you want to go this year, that you need to move this year. I mean, I do know that feeling. I had it myself when I moved from Port Elliot to Birdwood, it was just a feeling of the energy's changed. I need to go. There's a reason. It ended up being that my mum had actually needed me to care for her because Dad had passed away. So my whole life had changed around, basically, in ways I wasn't expecting. So, but you can still voice what you actually want and your intentions in a way that is more on that loving level, the understanding and having it as a two-way. It's communication, being open, but it's setting your boundaries of what for yourself, not so much for other people, but for yourself. How much is it that you're going to accept as, well, acceptable, or what you actually want to put forward as your own strength in how you're speaking to the other people that are relevant for a move. So you're in the US then, Jenny, because I can't click to find out. So I presume I'm feeling like it is a big move. For myself, seeing these, it's probably not this year, but it could be, get what you want voiced and communicate that and plan it so that it is, the card is harmony, so that it is going to work in a harmonious way, not in a rushed way, so that the plans will fall into place at the right time. I've just had flick through around April next year. So whether that's something that you've already seen as part of your goal, is that the right location, all the other things that you need to be talking about to have that work for you as well as the other parties involved, your family. And, well, even work, I dare say. I'm feeling you do work. Do you have a business that you're moving? Even something, I'm seeing hands doing things. So this is the thing with the delay on the feed with comments, if you're still there. I think you can feel quite confident that what you are actually saying too is going to be working in the way that you want to be heard, that it's not just going to be something that is going to continually being, you're either hiding your opinion or you're having to force it because no one's listening. In this instance, there you go, the hands. It did feel like something like that. So thanks for that there. Work in a restaurant. So it's not even so much about standing your ground in it, but it is expressing what you want to see as your boundaries to self first, of where it would be acceptable and where is possible. It's not just that you're limited. Well, I mean, you're saying, yes, you want to move to Florida. There could be something elsewhere that's just as acceptable, just as exciting, with all the possibilities that you may not even have seen yet. It's just open yourself to all of those possibilities, and it could still be that it's Florida. I mean, I'm getting a bit of a yes on that. So it's that patience, it's that stepping into you to get that expression out, and it'll work because, it's harmony is that. It's the give and take. It's not specifically to do with compromise all the time or hiding yourself or forcing yourself out. It's just being you and planning and discussing all that. So I wish you all the best with that too. So all good there. Now there is 4 viewers. I haven't had anyone sort of go to the Hypnosis Plus and click the link to come in as a guest, which probably means nobody's got the right equipment or too shy. It's all fun. Thank you, Jenny. I am finding I do like doing this. When I heard, or actually it wasn't heard, it was, the messenger messages that you get, as far as that Leanne wasn't going to be here for sharing the show today. It doesn't faze me. I mean, I know that I can do solo events at any time, but it's something that it's stepping out of the comfort zone in this area, doing psychic work, trusting my intuition and what I'm seeing on cards, what I'm feeling about a person's connection as I'm online. It feels really new to me, and I know I can do it because everybody can. It's taking that step out of a comfort zone and being public and live with it. And I'm sort of thinking, oh, I'm glad there's only so many little number of viewers, where when Leanne's on, the comments are streaming and streaming and streaming, which is great. So I actually appreciate that there is a smaller number to get that learning past the, gee, I'm shit scared about this, which I'm not. But yeah, there is, nerves. One of those funny things in life. Don't we all have them? Those moments where we do actually need to step past the blocks, take that step in faith that what we're doing, even in the direction of what our lives are taking, have we had a conscious part in deciding that that's where our life is going? Or is it just, well, because a lot of mine has been go with the flow and not feeling like I've had the conscious decision making, which I know is me telling me a lie. I mean, it has been in the past. It's the moving forward. It's just working through stuff that you're reacting to instead of actually taking the action yourself by being conscious. I know with a lot of what I picked up from just those snippets of Eckhart Tolle and his work, because I have read one of his books through, and I can't remember whether it was In the Now or the other one, and the title just, it's gone off. Probably gone off with the fairies. It doesn't matter. His work is so much based around being in your presence in the now. And when you actually start to consciously think of that, it's amazing how differently your mind senses are coming into action, and what you're feeling in that being present, and the air even that sits around your body, how you can almost feel the weight of it. And I like that one. Yeah, laugh out loud or learning out loud, learning together. I had a different couple of words the other day for the LOL. Can't remember what it was. And there again, that's all just words, because how do we actually experience our life? It's each unique to us, because every single one of us has a different base of experiences that's behind us in our life. Our birth, our upbringing, the family members that we come into the world with, where we've been born into, the country, cultures, all the rest of it. It is the expressions of humanity in where we are at that particular and every other particular moment that we're alive. Hi, Annette. I like seeing your comments because you're so beautiful yourself and you give out such gorgeous energy. Thank you, darling. So in all that we actually do in our life, just to take those moments of breath, even that we just be in the now and being fully present right here now, and taking that breath again. And we don't think about it, do we? So how much of our lives are we actually letting float away, which isn't a bad thing, letting just go with being present without the conscious factor of it behind it. So I do find that fairly interesting, because I used to just give myself the guilt heck of a lot for wasting time. Time's something that, to me, I'm finding more and more as I'm getting older, it's irrelevant. The same as the numbers of how many years I've been here on the earth this time is irrelevant. I don't feel an age. I'm just me here in the now. And even now, I'm just here bringing up a card. What's this one? There we go. There's a Seven of Wands. Does that mean anything? For the moment, in this particular now, that's a card. As you can see, it's just building up growth. Where we had a Four of Wands before, now we've got Seven. And he's ready at a doorway with his wands. In some tarot decks, the wand is actually a stick, a sapling, so that my imaginings when I see that sort of card is you're planting it in the ground and it's growing, because there's some of the illustrations that have little shoots on them. And it's just growing. Well, it takes time, but it's, thinking of trees. You're planting a seed. It takes time for that to grow, but the tree doesn't measure it. It's just growing. So why is it that we are actually putting in the time factor in our lives as being something really important when it is actually the illusion? It's only something that men have constructed as a gauge for time passing, for the progression of what is the seasons, what is our path through life. And I think that's probably why I like the cards so much, because they're actually giving you an indication, really, of assistance, of guidance, of different paths on our journey. There's another one I've just pulled out, the last card, which is the Pentacles, and that's to do with your material possessions and wealth, and the end game of what is the physical, basically. So the 10, you look at all of the coins, I think it's supposed to represent. It's just absolute abundance. It's just all the potential actually having been achieved. The other thing I really like too, if you can see it on these ones, see the little turtle down the bottom? And that, I feel, really does indicate it doesn't matter how long something takes. It doesn't matter the time that things happen. Some things are time critical, but it's not so much that time is the important part. It's just having things in the right order for something else to happen. And I just noticed there too, a mouse. Whoops. Wrong way. See if it actually focuses. And that's a fat mouse. So what's that saying? And the symbolism of the sun in the lid of the treasure chest, or it's just a box. It's something that holds our abundance. It's something that is containing it, but even there, you can't have it contained. See, it's all falling out, all that abundance. It's just we have enough for everything we need to do. We have enough for what we're meant to be doing right now. So just one of my side things, little explanations. Hello, Mary Ellen, it is. Yeah. So it's really a good thing at times to reflect into oneself and actually understanding that time isn't actually the be-all and end-all. As I battle with the crossover of time into using daylight savings time, I still struggle with it. I don't like it. It's it's just too early to have so much sun at night. Still be eating at 8 o'clock because that's when my tummy is hungry, not because that's the odd 7 o'clock. I just don't like it. So I suppose that's where I start to think around daylight savings, crossover, and the rest, about time being what we've made it to be. So, hi Mary Ellen, since you've come in at this time, yes, Leanne wasn't able to be part of the show today, so I'm doing it solo. I'm just going through some of the cards as Jenny had one pulled and Shirley had as well. So just little guidances along the way. And Ed, if you're wanting to have a card too, I can do one for you. Just let me know. Just put in, I'll have a card pulled in which deck. I've got the Lenormand Gilded, I've got the Psychic Tarot, and I've got the Gilded Tarot. There. And that is a Psychic Tarot. I think they do call it, they call it Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. So that's why I actually have the 3, just for that slight difference, because even though it's sort of a tarot deck, it's not quite. Oh, nighttime there. Is it Shirley? In Canada. Wow. Yeah, that's a long way away. That's something I keep forgetting to ask. It'd be great to see, putting in where you are. The technology does allow us to be so global, doesn't it? Which deck would you like? Annette and Mary Ellen. If you just put those in, and I think that'll probably wrap it up for today. It'll be about the hour then. So, yes, as much as I had those issues with the technology this morning, it is great to be able to chat with anyone anywhere around the world, where you don't have to time it to being what was the old STD calls, and when they started putting in, and this is going back a bit, dears, that's starting to age me, isn't it? But time's irrelevant, isn't it? Okay, there you go, Annette. I'm going to do a psychic one for you. So from out the Psychic Tarot Oracle, whichever one it is. And I know you'll be very good at being able to interpret for yourself too. Yes. And I think that's where we really need to be opening ourselves. You see, you're needing a 4 shuffle too. So there you go. And what we've got for you is the Power card. Up now. Yes, I'm moving that the right way. How did I get that? No flare, no glare. I had it before. Ah, there. It's hard to memorize which way I'm supposed to be actually holding it as an angle. There's your light, dark. There's your yes, no. There's all that can be on each side of what can be power. There's a positive, a negative, if you like to think of them that way. I don't. I just feel that it's something that is a powerful decision that you're needing to make, that really does put you in that position of feeling you're standing so solidly on your own ground in this one. So good luck with that. I mean, it doesn't need luck because it's something that is an intention that you will make happen. So I love the colours in that. So strong. So that's good that it's helped you today. Thanks, Annette, for asking for a card. And Mary Ellen, because it just feels like I need, now I've got to go hide that, and then, yes, you've got a yes, please. And I'm just going to pick the Lenormand ones. Is there any specific question that you'd actually like to have it focused toward, as in an area of focus, like career, work, home, health, whichever? If you're still able to type that in, I can put a bit more focus on that while I'm actually shuffling them. Thanks, Annette. Just showed that one. A pleasure. Very much a pleasure, Annette. As I'm getting warmed up for this, and it's nearly the hour. But that's okay. Hopefully next week it won't be quite so much in the technical issues. I'll have a setup that I can actually show the cards without glaring on. Well, that's my intention. It's my goal. And my expectations are that Leanne will be able to be part of the show next week. Oh, there you go, Mary Ellen. I've actually got shuffling for you more than what my normal 3. So it's enjoying this. And I know why, because this deck is actually suited for my hands as far as the size goes. See how they fit into the hand compared to they are quite a bit bigger when you put them together as a size. So, and the gilded are even a very nice hand feel as well. So the card that you've actually got is 32, which is, I think it's moon in the book, but like I've explained before, I'm not too keen on using a book So I'm trying to get that where it's not. These haven't really been used a great deal yet, so they are at the moment reasonably shiny. The handling of them over time does take some of that shine off. So I'm hoping you can see that really well. And just seeing that perfect balance and the cycles around in that the little world, the cycles of the moon that are there. Oh, this thing where you have to go opposite. So it's got all phases of the moon and what is our cycles through. In the instance of the moon, it is usually the monthly. I mean, it takes that, I think it's 28 days. I've forgotten all my geography and science and stuff like that. Well, I haven't forgotten it all. But it's one of those things when you don't need to remember stuff instantly, I'll park it in the brain. And sometimes the finding it again takes a little bit of time. Or not. Just depends. So with that, looking at that now, my feeling your life is going through just one of the cycles. I'm getting the impression as I'm looking at that for you that if you want something to be different, you're going to have to change the way that you do something in particular so that the result's not the same and continuing in a cycle that you don't want, that you're not happy with having it continue. So look inward at that shadow side of where your emotions are and how you're reacting to things. Look at what's happening around you in a more being present in the moment way. Taking in your breaths when you're feeling something's not quite right, to actually look at it more instead of passing it by, letting it pass by, looking at it more so that you can, I wouldn't say analyze, but understand. So I suppose it is a little bit both of that. Understand a bit more what you need to change or leave the same. So, some stuff can change, some stuff needs to change. Yeah, what did I just say then? I'm just getting stuff that's not quite, so maybe that's how you're actually feeling, is that bit of confusion. Breathe it. And sit in that present moment where you're actually feeling, even to the point of being able to feel the air around you. And then go into the heart space, into your heart space. And then even further, if you feel you need to in that moment, to your soul connection. Because it does only take, it's not even a second, it's that instantaneous. It can happen to be able to do it, but you need to put that, just let the breath out so that you're releasing whatever it is that triggered it in the first place, and not having that continuous cycle that is there, being that continuity that you don't want. There's something that might need to change. I'm hoping you can understand that for you, even though, what you wanted, life in general. I'm feeling there is a bit of confusion. It's either something around a ring. Are you actually, it just feels like there's something, probably a fairly big change. Are you, it's the feel of a decision around a relationship or a connection. I'm feeling that is actually to do with a ring, whether it's to do with moving in or out of relationship with someone in particular. It doesn't necessarily feel like it is specifically a spouse, but someone that is close to you, that feels of that nature of close relationship. So whether there's something around that needs to change. I just went to that the bowl under the moon there. Thank you very much, Shirley. It would be lovely to see you again. So it is great to get the feedback, even though comments do tend to have a little lag. Thank you. So it's great to know that's, what I'm receiving is something that you are connecting with. So thank you for that. It does, that bowl feeling and the moon floating, that floating feeling there, it feels like you are actually being suspended in a really fantastic, I wouldn't call it a cloud, but a space of love. So I think that's probably where it is, that indication, going within to be held by yourself in that space of self-love, to be able to connect with that at that deep level, and breathe into that, just experience that, connect with that, say hello to that, love that, and sit there for as long as you actually need to, and keep your senses open for what message you might receive in whichever way that you receive your intuitive and spirit guide messages. Can be with the sight, the hearing, the sensing, whichever. We all have skills like that. Each and every one of us receives it different ways. Be in that space and receive that for you. Okay, so that's the finisher on that one. You'll come to the right decision. It will be whatever it is that you need for life, for your continuing journey. Okay, so thank you for allowing me to read for you each of those who I've pulled a card for. I really do love the experience of being live and interacting with others around the world. I like that we can share this onward with other people too. And yes, even for some, being able to do the online live Skype type meeting and having that exchange of energy, even in paid work, it all connects in the way that it's meant to. That's what life is. So take time for yourselves, and whether it's going to be a daily meditation or a daily video, which I'm working on these days, and it's day 6 today. Thank you, Mary Ellen. I appreciate you. I appreciate that I can help out in whatever way I can with other people. I'm a helper. I like doing it. Different paths that I might be taking at some point, doing virtual assistant work, doing blah, blah, all the ideas that are in the head, sound therapy. I'm doing a course in that right at the moment because I love it. Oh, I love you too. Thank you, Annette. Thank you. So connecting with you, each and every one who's watching this, those live now, those who might be watching replay, connect with you. Feel that space that is your inner you, your heart center, connecting with your soul, and really being the you that you're meant to be, sitting in that space with it. In whatever way that you need to, we do still need to breathe as a physical to know where we are in our spiritual and that path that we're in. So continue breathing well, nourishing your body well, getting the exercise you need, which is my lesson. I sit in front of a computer a lot. And just being your glorious you, loving every part and aspect of who you are and putting that out to the world. So thank you for being here today. And we'll see you next week as well. In the description somewhere, I've got my Hypnosis Plus with Roz as a Facebook page. And for Leanne's, it's gone out of my head, Sparkly Spirit or something. Oh, goodness. Leanne Winston Psychic Medium will do. She does have another connection that we've included in a description on one of the other lives. Oh, the recordings now, of course. So I'll see you all. Well, I may or may not, but it doesn't matter. We're all joining together in spirit next week, this time 10:30 on Tuesday mornings here in South Australian time. So bye for now.